What's up YouTube, it's been exactly 1 week after patch 1.8.2 on Minecraft, the Xbox 360 version, and I've been working on a bit of a pixel art world, well, among other things, but mainly the pixel art world, and I wanted to show off what I've managed to do in a week. At the start of it I was no-lifing a bit, but over the past couple of days I've been working on other projects, so you know, it fell off a bit, but I think it might be a cool thing to see over time. I reckon I'm going to do this video every week, just to see what changes throughout the week. So first up, have the good old Final Fantasy classic sprites from like the first game until like FF3, maybe even 4. They have the white and black mage, the same sprites. But yeah, I should mention actually, I read a comment saying that the monk would look better in a different colour blue other than the diamond, which it is in originally, and I reckon it does actually. I reckon that's an improvement. Diamond's a bit too shiny and didn't really suit it. So collectively they all took about 35 minutes. Monk was like 5, red mage 7. I don't think White Mage even took 7. Black Mage took about 12, but yeah, and the Chocobo, well, no time at all. Add it up and it probably roughly adds up anywhere between half an hour and 35 minutes. And then we have my Final Fantasy IV sprites, not sprites, well, yeah they are, but we have both Cecils, Dark Knight Cecil and Paladin Cecil. If you've played the game, then you understand the background as well, which is when Paladin Cecil's trying to defeat his inner darkness, represented by Dark Knight Cecil has formed himself on the left in the blue crystal room, mirror room. It was one of the two. They took about, well, they were the second things that I made ever. They took about 45 minutes each, just due to inexperience. They're not really complicated. Then I have my giant kingdom key, which in retrospect I should have built sideways, so I could have got a bit more detail, but I think it came out well. I think it's all well proportioned. That took about half an hour actually, because I built the smallest one first, which well, that took like half an hour initially when I was figuring out the pattern, but the bigger one is just scaled up. Like I can't remember what scaling is, like 2 or something, 2 times bigger. But what I wanted to do on the big one actually reaches a sky limit. I did want to do the same thing, like the keyblade closing the keyhole, which I think is quite a cool looking thing, especially from below, but I couldn't do it because of the sky limit. And then we have good old King Mickey from Kingdom Hearts. Well, not just from Kingdom Hearts, but King Mickey is. And yeah, he's one of my favourite ones actually. He took about an hour or so, even though he is pretty small in compared to some of my others, but it's actually quite a complicated colour scheme, especially when you've got a different set of colours to work with than the actual ones. But I think he turned out really well. And then we have Nigel, good old Nigel ThornBerry from the Wild ThornBerrys, the TV show, and he took maybe 2 hours, but that was mainly because it was the first piece of pixel art that I wasn't using any reference for, other than it was a slight bit of memory, and it was a bit of an actual picture of him from like the program, where he was just like, he was stood next to his camper van pulling his face, and yeah, that was basically all, innovative design. So he's probably my favourite, just because, like I said, it's completely self-made, besides from, of course, the actual picture that I used, but there was no pattern or anything. So going back up my row, we have Dante from Devil May Cry. He's my most recent build. and I think I might like him second best. I think it goes Nigel, Dante, then Mickey, just because of the it just looks cool. He's got the ebony and ivory. He's got his giant sword, which I can't remember the name of, and he's just pretty coolly posed. If you get that, he's holding his two pistols. If that's not entirely clear, I know that just because of the scaling of it, like it's not 100% clear, some of the models. Then we have Megaman and his Megaman X suit. I wanted to build like the oldest Megaman and kind of, you know, make it like old and timeline it, but making the oldest Megaman is like it's not like making the FF Classic sprites. Like it takes very little time, and they don't particularly look that good. I don't know. I think the only reason that I like my FF sprites is because it's like a collection of them. I might actually build the final two that I wasn't going to, but off of the track, Megaman X suit. At least I hope that's what it is. I didn't play Mega Man that much, and I can't remember whether that's when he first got his white suit. Then we have Zero, also from Mega Man, which he's a favourite as well. I really like him. He was the biggest one that I'd built at the time. Like he wasn't that far after the Turtles, so yeah, he's a favourite as well. Then we have, of course, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo, and Michelangelo. And originally, the Turtles. Oh, I forgot to say how long those actually took to make. Dante took an hour and 5. 2 Megamans, I'd be surprised if they took half an hour each. Zero, since he was the biggest at the time, he actually took about an hour and a half. And yeah. Then we have the Turtles, as I said. They were the third thing that I built after the Cecils, and gonna hit the bed because I don't like the darkness. Yeah, they were the third things that I built after the Cecils, or right after, and they took like, I guess, 45 minutes each just because of inexperience, and anything with a lot of shade of greens. If you've made anything in Minecraft 360, you'll know that greens aren't exactly abundant. There's like 2 shades, and then you have to start being inventive with yellows and stuff. And how I got around that, the shell was supposed to be a few different tones, and I had it so that the shell was kind of like 3D coming at you. I used vines to tone it, which was pretty cool, actually. I liked the effect, but of course, unbeknownst to me, the vines actually grow, so you have to constantly take care of them, and it was no fun. Yeah, I quite like the Turtles. There's no real references to how you could make a proper sized one, or at least not without hitting the sky limit, I think. And then we have, since that's the 2 rows, I'll be expanding on those, I reckon, or I might just make 2 new rows like every week, sort of. Yeah, I might do that actually. Then we have my latest project, which is Bulbasaur, which doesn't look like much, but it didn't take that long to build. I have an aspiration of making all of the all of the Pokemon sprites. The original idea was the original 150, but I reckon I'm going to make them all. Make a bit of a series out of it, maybe time lapse it. So that's pretty much it. I hope you like some of my designs. I had a bit of a look on YouTube before I made most of them, at least. Some people have pretty similar things, but a couple of these are original-ish. As original as you can get with Minecraft. Everybody copies off of each other, essentially. Like, even the people in the beginning obviously copied off of something. So, yeah, if you liked anything, if you like this, feel free to throw a like, comment, and possibly subscribe.